So we move from one negative topic to the next. It has not been a great week for the wrestling world. So if that wasn't bad enough, WWE has even bigger problems, which seems bizarre, but it's true, in the form of COVID-19 coming back and biting them in the ass. We spoke about this at length last week, but a bit more details that WWE, which has been pretty public, been kind of public knowledge over the last couple of months, was not formally testing people for COVID-19. They were simply doing temperature checks. And with the amount of people they have in that building now, especially with having, the performance center recruits, so to speak, as they call them, in the crowd serving as an audience, may not be too smart to not be testing your performers. And maybe it's a cost-cutting measure, but if AEW is doing it, there is no excuse for WWE to not be doing it as well. This shit isn't really essential, but we've been over that before. So with the whole thing, I guess it's coming out from Pro Wrestling Sheet, PW Insider, that it could be in the dozen range of people, or 24 rather, of people that have tested positive for COVID-19, including in-ring talent, on-air performers, and that includes Renee Young, already came out on Wednesday night saying that she tested positive for coronavirus. Kayla Braxton, Adam Pearce is a producer, he said he tested positive. And then Kayla Braxton came out this morning and said, not only did she test positive recently, she was the one who had it earlier this year. There was a whole report, right before WrestleMania, around WrestleMania time, that someone tested positive for it. And it was an on-air performer, but it wasn't an in-ring talent. So I don't remember if Kayla was a part of WrestleMania. I don't think she was. I thought it was Charlie Caruso. It wasn't. It was actually Kayla Braxton, which would make sense. She's on TV. She's an interviewer, and she does the bump and whatever. So I could see that report now checks out. And she has now confirmed that she has tested positive not once but twice. So you can get it twice if that wasn't already apparent enough. So RJ, what was your reaction to the whole news breaking now about WWE not properly testing their performers before recently? We kind of talked about that last week, but now it having very serious negative effects on the company with various people coming out and say that they've tested positive in the last couple of days.
Yeah, definitely not good. The company seems like, not that they just haven't really, I don't know if they've taken it seriously or, like you said, it's a cost-cutting measure, so they're not testing everyone. But it's one of those things, especially being down in Florida, they're kind of spiking right now. So I think it's one of those things that they're in Florida, and now they're starting to get a lot. And I'm not sure if these people have really been taking precautions or kind of the whole thing. But, definitely not a good look for the company. It's kind of one of those things that, like we discussed before the phone, it was good up here. It was bad up here at first. Mm-hmm. So I don't think the rest of the country taking it seriously. Now it's down there as bad as it was up here, and now it's kind of the cycle of now they're having it bad. So I'm not too surprised when I saw the first couple of things. Once I saw the news and they said that Florida and Texas were spiking right now, I was like, oh god, it's guaranteed someone from WWE probably test positive. And the next day they came out the reports of people testing positive. So I'm not totally surprised. Even if the company was testing, people down there seem like they're catching it like wildfire now, so not totally surprised, but, could have done maybe just to know if people have it before. They're just kind of, symptoms, stay home, or kind of what their policies are, but I think it was kind of only inevitable now that Florida's spiking that people test positive.
But it's also coming out now, too, that, and I think, again, we spoke about this before we went live here, that with New Jersey, New York, and Connecticut now having this, not travel ban, but if people come in from Florida or I think Texas was the other state. They didn't say California, but I know those two, I guess those are the new big hotspots for the coronavirus. If you come in from those two states, you got to quarantine for 14 days. So WWE, I am absolutely sure, will work their way around it. And I'm not saying it's the right thing to do, but, I said months ago that I figured they would be shut down, that they're not essential, whatever. They were deemed essential somehow, some way. People have their theories, but they were. I'm sure they will find their way around this and find a way to make it work. But it's not good, because if you have coronavirus, they're not going to have the people go out and work the show. So it's going to be very interesting to see what happens with, I think SmackDown may have already been taped. I'm not sure. But for next week's shows, I'm not sure when the next set of tapings are and who's going to be on them. We won't be seeing the bump anytime soon with Kayla Braxton or backstage with Renee Young, which I'll get to momentarily. It's just a really bad situation, which, again, you had to know was inevitable. And like you said, when you started to hear of cases spiking in places like Florida, you had to know. And even if you take precautions and wear a mask, you can still catch it. But not wearing a mask makes it that much worse. So just wear your fucking mask, people. Don't be stupid. Kayla Braxton said the same thing in her tweet. She said something about, be smart or, I'm an idiot or whatever. So at least she's owning up to it, which I appreciate and I respect. But the whole situation just sucks, and hopefully, not that it absolutely shouldn't blow over. They should take action, and they should hopefully be, they should, start doing the procedures now. I mean, why it took so long, I have no idea. They were going to wait until something bad happened, which doesn't make any sense to me. They should have been doing this from the get-go. I'm not too sure of many people in AEW that have had it, if they've had it at all, because at least they've been testing.